What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we give some intel on the quarterback battle, where things stand going into fall camp. Plus, Jerome Myles also talks about the new transfer kicker Dominic Zavada, some good news on him, as well as the cornerback battle for that number 2 spot. Also, Colston Loveland compared to Travis Kelce, some high praise for running back Kalel Mullings this upcoming season, and it's a big recruiting weekend coming up for Michigan for the barbecue at the Big House. A couple targets Michigan could potentially close with, plus a 5-star receiver Michigan could potentially pick up steam in that recruitment. There's also a huge list of recruits in the 2026 class visiting, as well in the 2027 class. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So obviously yesterday we talked about Big Ten Media Days for Michigan as head coach Jerome Myles and some Michigan players took questions. Now there's a little bit we didn't talk about. Jerome Myles did take more questions later in the day, and it was mainly on position battles and players that have stood out thus far. And obviously a popular question was about the quarterback battle. Jerome Myles said that the quarterback battle is wide open. He said we'll play the best 11, and he said the number one thing is who is going to take care of the football, who is going to be the guy. And obviously, in fall camp they're going to be going after one of the best defenses in college football. Jerome Myles said they're going to have Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant running at them, Josiah Stewart, Jashawn Barham, and Will Johnson off the edge. All these guys, the different looks. So he said who is going to take care of the football and who is going to make a play. So the coaching staff should get a good idea during fall camp of who is going to be the guy. Now if there isn't any separation between them, then they got a tough decision come August 31st, but they got a whole month of fall camp to figure it out. But it does seem that the quarterback battle appears to be open. Obviously Alex Orji is the fan favorite. He's got a lot of tools. He's a freak athlete, but obviously Jack Tuttle has a lot of experience, and then Davis Warren has been said to have a quarterback with the best mechanics that Michigan has ever seen, which doesn't mean he is the best quarterback Michigan has ever had, but just means mechanic wise he's been the best according to those around the program. But Jerome Myles also talked about Jack Tuttle a little bit more in depth. He said that Tuttle has been great. He's been accurate. He's been throwing it hard, throwing fast, and he looks good. He said that he's had the unfortunate favor to be behind Michael Penix Jr. and JJ McCarthy, so he's excited to say the least. Watch him compete, and we're ready to see what happens. So obviously that is good news. Also, obviously Jack Tuttle is going to push Alex Orji for that starting job because obviously he is the favorite, but Jerome Myles has said Michigan, they need a quarterback who's going to take care of the football first and foremost, and a quarterback who's going to make plays. So it is a good competition though, and it's obviously making the quarterbacks in the room better. But I would say that whoever is the starting quarterback to start out, they're going to be on a short leash. If they make mistakes right off the bat, you could see another quarterback come in, especially in the Texas game. That's going to be a huge game early in the season, so it's going to be exciting. Obviously nice for the coaching staff to have multiple options there. Jerome Myles did talk about the new transfer kicker from Arkansas State, Dominic Zavada, which was a huge addition from the transfer portal. Obviously Michigan, they had Adam Samaha. He was a bit inconsistent in the spring game, so adding Dominic Zavada was absolutely huge. Jerome Myles, he said that Dominic's here. He's been awesome. The dude's got a leg. He can boot it, and he's super accurate. I'm super excited about him. So that is really good news right there. Michigan, they're going to need somebody who they can rely on at kicker, especially with such a good defense. Obviously question marks on the offense. I do think offensively they have the talent to be special, but we really just have to see how they look still, and getting 3 points could be the difference from winning or losing a game sometimes this season, especially with the tough games they have. So great news there on Dominic Zavada. As far as the cornerback battle, Jerome Myles said that I feel great about the depth opposite of Will Johnson. could be a number of guys. The guy right now looks like Jair Hill, but Amir Hall obviously came in. Ricky Johnson has come in, and he said Miles Pollard is making a push to get better. So he said we're excited about all those corners. We've got a lot of depth there. So it does look like Jair Hill most likely going to be the starter next to Will Johnson. Also on other positions, he talked about Kalel Mullings. He said the guy that's not talked about enough is Kalel Mullings. He's going to be a force. He's unbelievable and he looks as good as he ever has. Also talked about Colston Loveland, compared him to Travis Kelce. He also said that Samaj Morgan, Colston Loveland, two of the most hardest workers on the team in practice. That's a little bit more in depth of some position groups there for Michigan and what Jerome Moore had to say about them. Definitely some good news in there. And then now wanted to talk about recruiting. Obviously a big weekend coming up for Michigan. Barbecue at the Big House. Got a lot of 2026 recruits coming in, some 2027 recruits, and a few 2025 targets that Michigan looking to close with. Two of them, one Andrew Marsh, obviously the 4-star top 100 receiver who we have talked a lot about. Michigan currently leads with him. He took an official visit to Michigan, and ever since then Michigan has had a strong lead, and it's another opportunity for the Wolverines to make him feel comfortable. And obviously he's talked about potentially making a decision in August, and there is some belief that Michigan could potentially close with him this weekend. Now, he may not announce it publicly, but Michigan could potentially close with him, and if that does happen, he would obviously most likely make his decision in August. But another guy is the 4-star cornerback Jaden Sanders, which is another big time target for Michigan. They don't have any cornerback commits right now, and Jaden Sanders is the most likely target at cornerback to commit for Michigan, and Michigan could potentially close with him this weekend as well, as he is reportedly planning to announce his decision sometime after the barbecue event. So Michigan, two targets right there in 2025 class that they potentially have a good shot to close with this weekend. Now the 3-star wide receiver Phillip Wright is also coming in to Michigan for the barbecue at the Big House, which is actually another big time visit because he's taking an unofficial visit to LSU before coming up to Michigan. And obviously we've talked about it right when he committed, that LSU was going to be a threat to flip him. So obviously LSU is going to make a pitch at him. Michigan's going to have to do everything they can to keep him committed. Now, we've talked about it before. Michigan has their 2 quarterback commits, Brady Hart in the 2026 class and Carter Smith in the 2025 class, coming up for the barbecue at the Big House. Obviously, we'll be trying to recruit others. There's also a lot of other 2025 commits coming up for the visit as well, but having Brady Hart there is really huge because there is a ton of 2026 targets and recruits coming and taking a visit, and who knows, maybe Michigan could also get a 2026 commit this weekend. Michigan does lead for a couple 2026 targets, including 3-star in-state tight end Jack Junda from Orchard Lake, Michigan, goes to Catholic Central High School. Another potential guy is Gregory Patrick, who's the 4-star offensive tackle from Portage, Michigan. There's also tons of other 2026 targets. We've talked about CJ Sadler, Savion Hyder, who is another big target in the 2026 class, 4-star running back, one of the top running backs in the class, who seems to really like Michigan. And Michigan obviously has the big one, Jerome Myles, the 5-star 2025 receiver who recently decommitted from Ole Miss. It's obviously going to be very hard for Michigan to land him. He's gotten multiple offers since the decommitment from Ole Miss, but he is coming in to the barbecue at the Big House for a visit, and it's going to be very key to see if Michigan can make any movements in that recruitment. Michigan also has a lot of 2027 recruits. One guy who Michigan is really going after lately is Trey Taylor, who is a 2027 quarterback who should be a top quarterback in the 2027 class, has gotten multiple offers, including others from Ohio State, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Miami, and others, obviously including Michigan. So no doubt it's going to be a huge recruiting weekend for Michigan. Should be exciting, and potentially, we could see a commitment or 2 or 3, who even knows, but it's going to give Michigan the chance to pick up some steam in a lot of major recruitments. But with that, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.